Welcome to Quick Bytes, the lunchtime live stream with your tech integration specialist, Scott Conway. Welcome and thank you for joining me today. I would like to also welcome you to the new time slot for Quick Bytes, my live stream. As we're moving more towards a traditional school day, or going back towards more a traditional school day, I felt it was time to kind of switch away from the lunchtime live stream to the afternoon, where I think it'll give more teachers the opportunity to join me live, rather than necessarily always having to kind of watch the recorded session. So it's my hope that we'll gain a few more live viewers by pushing it to the afternoon after most teachers have finished their day and have the opportunity to kind of sit down and maybe do something a little extra for the day. So that was my intent for pushing it to 3:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks again for joining me today. In this episode, I will be taking a very brief look at something that I came across in while I was reading through the Google blog. And it was an article that just kind of stood out to me, and I was curious of what it was after hearing about the Fact Check Explorer tool. The whole idea of misinformation has kind of been swirling around in pop culture and our media for the past year. And so I was interested to see what this was. And so I just want to quickly show that to you today and just highlight that this exists as a tool for students and teachers to kind of hopefully dispel misinformation and really get to the facts that are out there on really any topic. So for those of you who are joining me live, please feel free to post any questions in the chat to the right, and I'll try to answer them before the end of the episode. And if you haven't done so already, please click subscribe below so you don't miss any of my episodes as they launch. So I'll make a quick little plug on the Google blog, because this is where I found this tool. It's where I was presented with it. And if you haven't subscribed to this blog, now you could see it says subscribe in the upper right-hand corner, and down below, I have subscribed with a different email address than the account that I'm currently in. So that's why it says subscribed for me. But feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the Google blog. It's blog.google. That's it. And there's a lot of information that comes in daily, on devices and software and new, you could see new experiments with AR and VR on there right now. A lot of good stuff that comes out of this blog, and a lot of good enhancements that come up, and things that just, it's a good way to stay on top of everything Google. So that's where I got this from. Just wanted to kind of share that with everybody today. And I'm going to get right into it. The Fact Check tool, or the Fact Check Explorer, and you could just Google it, Fact Check Explorer. The URL itself is up there, toolbox.google.com/factcheck/explorer, if you want to type it in manually. Otherwise, just Google it. You land on a page that is very plain and simple, much like their search page. It's devoid of everything, and I think that's intentional. So this neat little tool, you can learn a little bit more about it once you get in here by clicking on About in the upper right-hand corner. And you can kind of scroll down through this. You could see that it just, they've got a couple different tools in here. We're not going to talk about the markup tool today, but at least the Fact Check tool explains what it is and what you can do with this. And you can see that it's meant to kind of give everyone the ability to browse and search for the facts and to be able to dispel misinformation that might be floating around either on social media or pop culture or the media itself, mainstream media, you name it, wherever it's coming from. This tool aims to kind of dispel that or give you the information you need. I think it's from over 100,000 different sites that they're gathering this from. And you could pretty much search for anything, as you see here. The facts will, the articles will appear in your language, but you can search for all languages if you'd like to. You can also even restrict which publisher. As you see here, you can say, I want to look just for this publisher. You could do that, site : and then the publisher will do that for you. The latest facts that you've kind of that have been swirling around, you can go ahead and click on recent fact checks and kind of pull up, what has being searched by other people. But for today's demonstration, I do have two topics that I'd like to search. One is this item about coronavirus in garlic. And I don't know if you've heard about it, but it is something that's been swirling around about. So all you do is type in, as you can see, I've typed in these two words, coronavirus and garlic, and you probably don't need the word and, as you most know with your Google search, but I'm going to hit the search, and you can see that it's going to come up with these little snippets. And it tells you where it was claimed by a viral meme. Wuhan's coronavirus can be cured by one bowl of freshly boiled garlic water. And you could see that the factcheck.org site is the publisher of this one, and it gives a rating right here. So you don't even need to go into the full details if you don't want to. You can kind of just glean the very superficial surface facts on this, that's false. The whole idea that garlic can cure coronavirus is false. And as I look down, you can see that there's other publishers rated here or listed here. AFP Fact Check, they also claim that it's false. You see another article by them that's false. Vishva News is also claiming it false, and so on. You can scroll down through all of these different types of articles. And if you want to go right to it, you click on it, and it will take you right to that factcheck.org site, and it will give you the full story. You can read through and gather as much information as you want on this topic. So that's really all that it is. It was just something that kind of stood out in my mind as, oh, that's a neat little tool. And maybe not a whole lot of people know about it. So if you're in the classroom and you're trying to teach lessons about current events or information that's current to our world, or you're a student who is trying to figure out the world that we live in and all this information that's kind of around us all the time, 24/7, and in our faces, especially on these mobile devices, and you're unsure of something, or you're starting to see a lot of a topic or a story that's going around, and you really want to kind of either confirm it or deny it, this is a great place to go, is this Fact Check Explorer. I've done another one here, the recent story about that stuck ship in the Suez Canal. Apparently that's been a topic as well, and that people believe that trafficked children were being hidden inside this ship, and that it had something to do with Hillary Clinton and the boat's call name and call sign, and it's just obviously false. And you can see all the different publishers who have published articles about it. And here's one from the USA Today, and it's a fact check. There's no evidence that Ever Given's grounding in the Suez Canal was a planned event. You've got quite a few different articles here that are going to talk about this claim. That, as you can see, all of them are claiming is false. So again, a great tool that can be used for either in-class discussions, in-class lessons. You can use it personally for yourself. This is kind of out there, and it's just available. It's called the Google Fact Check Explorer, and I encourage you to check it out, especially in this day and age with so much like I said, out there for information. We're on information overload, and this is a good way to maybe find out what's truthful and what's not. I know I've had several conversations with my teenage daughter who, is flipping through social media posts, and, you kind of sit there and she says one thing and it's like, oh boy, I don't know if she knows if this is true or false. And this is a tool that you can actually both go to, use, and look it up. And look at the sources of information out there that are either going to dispel it or confirm it. So I don't see any questions coming in from our live viewers today, but I want to thank you for joining me. I know it's a little later in the day. Hopefully this is a little more conducive to your schedules. And if you get a chance, go ahead and check out the Fact Check Explorer by Google. Thank you for joining me today on this episode, and I hope you join me again in the future.